The Corbyns were always respected, old money, high society, untouchable. But behind the estate gates was a pattern no one dared mention aloud. Every firstborn child in the Corbyn line died before their 18th birthday. Always the same cause. Always the same expression. For over a century, the family buried their heirs and their secrets, until one survived long enough to tell the story. The Corbyn name was etched into everything in Eastmere, the law firm, the hospital wing, even the school auditorium. Old money. Deep roots. Generations of influence built on oil, shipping, and careful silence. Their estate, known as Ashmere Hall, sat high on the cliffs like a castle from another time, ivy-covered, curtain-drawn, and always unervingly quiet. The town spoke of them with reverence and fear. They were untouchable, immaculate. But those closest knew there was something off. Something they never spoke aloud. Because every Corbyn generation came with the same unspoken rule. The firstborn never lives past 18. No matter the decade, no matter the means, every heir was buried before adulthood. No explanation ever made sense. No investigation ever stuck. Always ruled natural, unfortunate, or simply unexplained. Yet still, the family continued on. Building, expanding, smiling for portraits. And always, planning the next funeral. It started as morbid curiosity, a trip to the county records office, flipping through brittle archives under fluorescent lights. I wanted to see for myself if the rumors were true. One Corbyn obituary could be coincidence. 2. Tragedy. But by the 5th, I knew I'd stepped into something far older, and far colder. From 1904 to 2011, 12 Corbyn firstborns, all dead before their 18th birthdays. Same time of year. Same strange wording in every certificate. Cause of death, undetermined. No physical trauma observed. Expression, distressed. Distressed wasn't the word. I saw a photo, once, one that shouldn't have existed. A boy, barely 16, his mouth locked open in a scream that seemed carved into him. Eyes wide, pupils blown, fingers curled as if reaching for something not there. No blood. No wounds. No signs of illness. Just that face, frozen in terror. Every time. I wasn't supposed to be here, not past 18. My family never said it outright, but I saw it in their eyes. Every birthday felt like a countdown. Every doctor visit, every locked door, every whispered conversation behind me. All part of a quiet, terrified routine. But I turned 18. Then 19. Then 20. The silence didn't break, it just grew heavier. It wasn't until my father passed that I found the key, a literal one, tucked inside an envelope marked for the last firstborn. It opened a cabinet in his study no one had touched in years. Inside, documents, letters, clippings, even Polaroids of gravestones I never knew existed. Each marked with a name I recognized from family stories. Cousins, uncles, siblings who'd all moved away or got sick. But they hadn't moved. And they hadn't just died. They had been chosen. And now I was the last. Ashmere Hall was vast. Over 50 rooms, many sealed off by time or choice. But the East Wing was more than forgotten. It was forbidden. My father kept it locked with a heavy brass key he wore around his neck until the day he died. That key was in the envelope, too. The door creaked open like it hadn't been touched in decades, releasing air that smelled of dust, wax, and something older. Inside, walls lined with journals wrapped in twine, faded photographs too warped to frame, and candles melted down to stubs. Carved into the stone fireplace was a symbol, a perfect circle with jagged slashes radiating from its center. That same mark had been found on my cousin's back after she died. It wasn't a birthmark. It was a brand, part of a ritual older than any Corbyn alive. A ritual meant to take the firstborn and preserve the rest. I thought the symbol carved into the East Wing's fireplace was just some ancient family crest, until I found it again. First in old photographs, then in a place I never expected, etched faintly into the stone foundation beneath the house, right where the original manor was built. But most disturbing of all, it was found on them. Each firstborn. Days before they died, they developed a strange mark on their skin, always in the same place, over the heart or on the base of the neck. Never ink. Never injury. A perfect circular brand, as if burned from the inside out. My cousin Amelia had it. My brother had it. And according to one old diary entry, so did I. But mine faded, and theirs never did. Why? The answer lay not in how the mark appeared, but why one child every generation had to bear it, and what it was marking them for. In a rusted trunk beneath the floorboards of the east wing, I found it, a tin reel of 8mm film labeled simply 1903, observe. No names. No explanation. I borrowed a projector from the town archive, hands shaking as I threaded the brittle film through. The screen flickered, then steadied. The footage was grainy, silent, but clear enough to see a circle of people in black robes, standing in a clearing behind Ashmere Hall. Torches lit the scene. At the center was a boy, maybe 15, kneeling, his wrists bound in red cloth. The boy looked up, and even in the blur of time and dust, I recognized his face. Thomas Corbyn, the first documented firstborn. The one history claimed had died of fever. He was crying, mouthing words, over and over again. Please. Not me. Not me. And then the screen went black. But the sound of whispering continued, even though the film was silent. My grandmother, Edith Corbyn, died when I was a child. I remembered her as strict, distant, always lighting candles in empty rooms and whispering to locked doors. At the time, I thought she was senile. Now, I understand she was terrified. Behind a false wall in her sewing room, I discovered a narrow staircase leading down into stone. At the bottom, a hidden chamber no one had mentioned in any blueprint or will. Inside, there were dozens of burned candles, torn pages from ritual books, and a small cot with restraints, like she'd been keeping something down there. Or someone. In the corner sat her journal. The final page was a warning. I broke the circle. I thought it would end. But it only changed direction. If you're reading this, it's already chosen again. She hadn't ended the curse. She'd only delayed its hunger. And now, it was awake. 4 years, I believed I had broken it, that somehow, surviving past my 18th birthday meant the curse was finished. But I was wrong. It didn't end. It paused. Now my daughter, Claire, is 17. And last week, I saw the mark. Faint, over her heart. The same circle. The same jagged slashes. She hasn't noticed it yet, thinks it's a rash or a bruise from practice. But I know better. The clocks have started stalling again at night. Doors rattle without wind. And yesterday, I found candles relit in the east wing, though I haven't entered that room in years. My grandmother tried to stop it. So did I. But the Corbyn bloodline made a pact long before either of us was born. A life for legacy. A child for continuity. And unless I break that circle for good, Claire will be next, just like every firstborn before her.